Hey guys, what's up? It's Monkey. I'm back for another video, and in today's video we will be wrapping up one of the oldest series on my channel. This What If has been going on for actually a year now, and with this being the 10th and final part, I think it's about time we bring this story to an end and basically finish things up. This is the last part you will ever see of this What If, other than the full series, and I have of course already reduxed part 1. If this video hits 250 likes, I will consider doing a GT version of this What If, but as of right now I don't really feel like doing one, and 250 likes isn't something we usually hit, so yeah, I don't really feel like doing a GT part for this What If. But if enough people like this series, then I guess I'll consider it. Obviously now though, we have to wrap everything up with Dragon Ball Super. We have got the Moro arc left, and I do want to cover the massive time skip with the end of Z. Before we do get into all that though, please make sure you leave a like. Let's try and get this video as many likes as possible for the finale, and please make sure you subscribe with post notifications on. If you would like to talk to others about this channel, I would also appreciate if you could join my Discord server and go follow my Twitter. But with all that said, let's get right into this video. So a few months have passed since the Tournament of Power, and since then everyone has been keeping up with their regular training, and obviously they have all gotten much stronger, but it's not anything too significant. One day the Galactic Patrol arrive on Earth, and Miras and Jarko wanting to recruit the fighters from the Tournament of Power. They find Goku, Vegeta and Broly and explain they want them to help them. A confrontation begins with them not knowing who Miras is, and he knocks out all three of them, and this leads to Dabura and Piccolo arriving, who confront Miras. They, however, actually remain calm, seeing he is part of the Galactic Patrol and that he doesn't really wish any harm upon them. Dabura, however, does sense something strange about him. Needless to say, they board the ship, flying off. When Goku, Vegeta and Broly come to, Miras explains to them what has happened, and he explains everything to all of them about a million-year-old prisoner escaping the galactic prison. They explained the main reason they recruited them was because they took part in the Tournament of Power and heard about how well they did. Everybody is actually quite happy to help, excited for a challenge. Goku does still try to sense Moro, but sees Moro looking back at him, and in any case they quickly realizing they're heading for Namek. And so Goku, Vegeta and Broly all instant transmission away, with Dabura and Piccolo deciding to stay behind. Miras and Jarko just really confused at how they vanished, Piccolo explaining that they can teleport. They arrive on the planet, and the Saiyan trio go to greet the Namekians, explaining to Mori the situation they're in. From here, things play out the same, with Moro arriving on Namek, his ominous key filling the air. He still tries to grab a Namekian child, which Vegeta stops, but before Vegeta can fight Moro, Broly actually intervenes. He tells Vegeta he'd like to have a crack at this wizard, and so he powers up into his base form. Vegeta actually welcoming this. It's been a while since Broly had a proper good fight, and so in base rushes Moro, who immediately blocks Broly's punch. Moro sees how Broly's fighting is a sort of calm storm, seeing how Broly is a kind of enraged but also quite calm and cool fighter. Broly and Moro begin to fight, with Moro using his magic to toss Broly around. This angers Broly, and he uses a form he hasn't used in a while, the Ikari form. Ikari Broly now uses his controlled Ikari form and rushes Moro, avoiding his magic with his extreme speed. Broly begins moving as fast as he can, now landing multiple actually damaging hits to Moro. Surprising to go. Moro backflips away, now beginning to shoot multiple bits of rubble at Broly, who easily smashes through them, attacking again, even firing some ki blasts of his own. This surprises Moro, as he did not know there were some mortals who were like this in the universe, but no matter. Moro removes his cloak now, tossing it to the side, revealing his very different body type to Ikari Broly. While Ikari Broly is a big hulking Saiyan, Moro is a skinny, bony magician. With that, Moro powers up, beginning to use parts of the planet as he did in the manga. This takes Broly by surprise, but he's able to avoid this relatively well, even firing a couple counterblasts of his own at Moro. This, however, doesn't last long, as Moro quickly begins to overwhelm Broly, almost purposefully. From here we see actually a bit of intelligence from Broly, who is able to uncover what Moro's plan really is, and who he truly is, and what he is, and what he's basically after. Having now told Broly this, Moro goes in for the kill, and Goku and Vegeta get a bit worried as Broly is about to be blasted away. But Broly powers up to his Super Saiyan form, wiping any doubt from the two, powering up. Broly now easily vaporizes the blast from Moro. Having done this, he easily beats Moro up, tossing him around, blasting him. Broly is sorely disappointed by Moro, seeing he really is just some old man. With this, Broly begins dragging Moro across the ground, not showing him any mercy, flinging him into a cliff, smashing him around. Moro rises from where he was flung, then beginning to absorb energy from the planet, creating a massive energy blast. He consumes it, growing it many times stronger. Broly, still in Super Saiyan, decides he has had his fun, but it's now time for everything to come to an end. Broly flies up, charging a blast, when he suddenly powers back down to base, and his energy ball dissipates. Broly falls to the ground as he takes a knee, as Moro smiles an evil grin. Goku and Vegeta ask what's wrong, then realizing they can't transform either. Moro has sucked all the energy from the planet, and so Goku and Vegeta try to help Broly in a three-way battle of them all being in base form. They try to weakly fight Moro, but all end up being easily beaten and left near to death. Moro being even stronger this time due to not only taking energy from Goku and Vegeta, but also Broly. Moro now goes on a rampage across Namek, killing every Namekian he finds, collecting the Dragon Balls to wish for his youth. The Saiyans are rescued and are left unconscious for a few days, eventually recovering, awakening. They find out Moro has collected all the Dragon Balls except for one. This of course being with them. With now no other option, they decide to face Moro head on. Powering up in base form, they fly straight toward Moro, but are then cut off by the Galactic Patrol with their arrival of Mirus. Mirus now avoids all of Moro's blasts, capturing him in a net. Dabura and Piccolo fly down, happy to see the Saiyans are all okay. Dabura decides he shall be the one to face Moro, walking toward him. Dabura looks down at Moro, who sees him. "You are the Demon King," he says. Dabura grins. "I'm glad you've heard of me." Powering up, Dabura stares Moro down. He's a magician, just like Babidi. Before Dabura can say anything more, everyone disappears. The only person standing there is Babidi. Covered in a net, Babidi laughs at Dabura. "I'm your master, Dabura, so won't you release me from this net?" Dabura slowly walks towards him and begins pulling the net off. Then screaming, Dabura clutches his head. It seems seeing Moro has brought some trauma from Babidi in the redux of part 1, and Buu, which was buried deep within him. Everyone who was confused seeing Dabura in a trance-like state help Moro is happy to see Dabura back, but Moro takes this distraction as an opportunity to break free, his aura exploding. Moro rockets up, Dabura powering up, rushing Moro. A massive battle begins, Moro against Dabura. Now, interestingly, the two both use magic and are actually relatively evenly matched. Dabura using his magic is actually not affected by Moro's energy drain due to him being a demon and whatnot. So yeah, Dabura actually doesn't have much of an issue with fighting Moro. And it's kind of similar to the Majin Buu fight, with Dabura doing the best anyone's ever done against Moro. Eventually, however, Moro does start to fire multiple blasts, and this fight is very difficult for Moro due to the fact he has never fought someone other than the Grand Supreme Kai who could easily negate his energy absorption. Needless to say, Moro is able to easily use the planet to his advantage, which Dabura isn't able to negate so well, as this is very advanced magic. Dabura continues to fight Moro, the two still being quite evenly matched. Moro insults Dabura, telling him he expected better from the Demon King. Dabura, however, laughs. "You think this is my full power, do you?" He chuckles. His energy explodes, a crimson aura, not beginning to spike up as he bulks up. His clothes begin to change as he powers up to his demon god form, showing off his god ki. Moro is shocked by this massive increase in power as Dabura rushes him, absolutely beating the crap out of Moro. He's able to do nothing in the face of Dabura. His demonic magic abilities easily overwhelm Moro as Dabura just easily wails on him, smacking him around. This actually frustrates Moro, screaming at the pinnacle of his abilities. This would be nothing compared to him. Dabura now wields his sword, chuckling. He slices Moro's stomach open, causing him to bleed profusely. Moro slowly stumbles back, falling to the ground, unable to get up. Dabura stabs his chest, laughing at Moro. I was interested to see what beast could terrify even the likes of the Galactic Patrol, but it seems you're nothing but a dirty old trickster. Twisting his sword inside Moro's stomach, Moro coughs up more blood, grimacing in pure fury, telling Dabura he will pay for this. The sky, however, suddenly turns pitch black as Porunga has been summoned. Dabura, distracted by the planet suddenly going to night, doesn't realize this, to which Piccolo yells at Dabura to watch out as his blade is flung out. Moro slaps Dabura away, rocketing into the sky at top speeds, straight towards the Namekian dragon. Before the Frieza soldier can even make his first wish, Moro impales him, killing him. Moro now makes his 3 wishes. The first is to be healed, the second is for his magic and youth to be restored, and of course, his final wish is to free the galactic prisoners. Goku, Vegeta, and Broly and Piccolo all arrive just as Moro finishes making his last wish, now facing off against him. Moro laughs at them, telling them that they have failed. Moro now powers up, stating he has no need for this planet anymore. With this, he flies away, Piccolo trying to stop him. Moro simply laughs at the Namekian though, swatting him away like a fly. Dabura catches Piccolo, yelling at the Saiyans they have to go after him. Dabura telling Piccolo to stay on Namek in case anything bad happens. Flying into space, the 4 fighters all power up. Goku powers up to Blue Kaioken, Broly goes up to Super Saiyan, and Vegeta powers up to Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, with Dabura still being in his Demon God form. The first 2 to try and rush Moro are Broly and Vegeta, both beginning to fight him. Now while Vegeta and Broly are able to put up a pretty good fight, at first, Moro quickly begins humiliating them, beating them down while draining planet Namek of all its energy. Broly is the first to be defeated, falling into base form. Angry, he has still been beaten for a second time. Vegeta, fighting solo, tries his best to land a few hits on Moro in his Blue Evolution form, but it's no use. Moro is just currently too strong, and with him slowly draining Vegeta of his energy, there's nothing he can do, leaving Vegeta angry as he too is defeated. Goku and Dabura rush Moro together, this kind of being similar to when they first met fighting Babidi and Buu together. Goku tries his best to help Dabura, getting really frustrated at Moro as the 3 continue to fight. It becomes clear Goku isn't going to be able to keep going, but Goku vows to Moro he will be the one to end him, to which Moro laughs, telling Goku to give it his best shot. The battle becomes just Dabura versus Moro again, the 2 having their rematch, finding an epic battle in space, shockwaves echoing throughout the vacuum. A flurry of punches and kicks being exchanged with magic skillfully used, Dabura still being aware of the time limit on Namek. The 2 continue to fight as Moro taunts Dabura, before the only person who could keep up with him was the great Lords of Lords, who he had been absorbed by Majin Buu. Dabura clutches his head from hearing that name. Trembling, he screams, rushing Moro. The 2 continue to fight, with Dabura now using his sword, trying to cut Moro into pieces. Moro simply chuckles at this. The 2 continue to fight, flying across space, crashing into bits of rock. Moro asking, is that really all the Demon King has? Meanwhile, the Saiyan trio and Piccolo have all escaped to the Galactic Patrol ship and are watching this fight. Dabura lands on a bit of an asteroid facing off against Moro. He isn't sure if he can actually win this alone anymore. Meanwhile, Beerus decides to try and bring Moro back to Namek, so that the Saiyans who were defeated can fight him again, since they're now deep in outer space. With this, Beerus flies out, fighting Moro himself, allowing Dabura to rest, using his gun. Moro, however, is able to easily avoid this. Beerus buys enough time for Dabura to go back into the fight. The Saiyans, who are now all on Namek with Piccolo, sends multiple energy signatures heading for the planet. These are the Galactic Patrol prisoners, their leader of course being Sagambo. Moro notices this and begins fueling them with energy, as well as sucking Namek and the Saiyans of their energy. He continues to fight Dabura, with Dabura now being stuck, not knowing what to do. At one point, right as Dabura goes to slice Moro, he sees Babidi. For a second, his mind plays tricks on him again. So, Dabura, will you stay here and fight Moro, or will you go to Namek and help your friends? Dabura senses Piccolo, who is now fighting Sagambo and losing, and decides that while he has a chance to beat Moro, they'll have to finish this some other time. Dabura flies back down to Namek, helping against the prisoners and Sagambo. There he sees not only Sagambo, but also Android 7-3. Goku and Vegeta, who are now in base form, are helped by Dabura, who buys them enough time to escape. Dabura, however, realizes he may not have been drained by Moro in energy, but he certainly hasn't got infinite stamina, and so, having been in his Demon God form for so long now, powers down to base, helping Piccolo out against Sagambo. This gives Goku enough time to teleport them back to the Galactic Patrol base, but Vegeta and Broly refuse to go. This leads to Broly going with Vegeta, the 2 heading off into their own spaceship, escaping Namek, with that of course one Galactic Patrol soldier. This leads to Namek being destroyed after Moro sucks it dry of its energy. The reign and rampage of Moro now begins, as he and his crew go across the universe, ransacking planets and sucking them dry of their energy. Vegeta and Broly, now on their own ship, ask the Galactic Patrolmen to take them to Yardrat, to which they get ready to go and learn a new technique and perfect spirit control in order to defeat Moro. Meanwhile, Goku still trains with Beerus, while Piccolo decides to go train under the Kais in order to learn magic. Yes, Piccolo learns magic and Dabura joins him, so they can fight Moro better. Yeah, with them knowing magic from the Supreme Kais, they'll be better able to negate Moro's energy absorption. Everyone senses Moro slowly eating planets and growing stronger and stronger, and so they all begin their training, and the short time skip of them training begins. Goku going in the time chamber with mirrors, and Vegeta and Broly eventually landing on Yardrat, getting some Yardratian drip, if you know what I mean. They do special training with Paibara, learning the principles of spirit control and ki, while Goku trains Ultra Instinct. Back on Earth, news spreads of Moro to Gohan and the others after some of Moro's men try to come to the planet and alert him of their whereabouts. This leads to 7-3 still going to Earth and attacking. He is graciously met by Goten. Yeah, so things play out as in the original, but Goten in Super Saiyan Rage is the one to fight 7-3, and while he is able to put up a decent fight while fighting 7-3, I think this fight would be pretty similar to the Piccolo fight against 7-3, where yeah, Gohan gets his abilities copied and he gets defeated badly. However, Trunks also in Super Saiyan Rage comes to the rescue just as Gohan did in the manga, with the two fighting 7-3. Considering fusing, but yeah, 7-3 is told by Moro to retreat, and basically things play out from here really similar to the original. Everybody wraps up their training and Moro makes his attack on the Earth. Interestingly though, I want to change the setting. Moro doesn't attack by some random wasteland, he goes to the Arctic, basically where the Broly movie takes place. This is just a nice scenery change in my opinion. It doesn't really affect the story, but since there's no Broly movie, we had it in Resurrection of F, I decided that yeah, it would be better to have the Moro arc set here. Well, obviously the final act of the Moro arc. Everyone joins the Galactic Patrol, hearing of Moro's attack, and so our lineup is Gohan, Dabura, Goten, Trunks, Tien, Yamcha, Krillin, Roshi, as well as Chiaotzu and Jaco, and all the prisoners attack, with our main fighters being Gohan, Piccolo, Dabura, Goten, and Trunks. Goten and Trunks are keen to take on 7-3, knowing he can copy abilities, but they learned their lesson from their first fight with him, and they know what to do now. The two of them individually can't take him on. They immediately fuse, forming adult Gotenks. Gotenks now powers up to Super Saiyan Rage, and he immediately rushes 7-3, as we now get a massive battle between the two. Gotenks showing off a plethora of his abilities, like the Super Ghost Kamikaze attack and the Galactic Donuts, which does tear his shirt off. Meanwhile, 7-3 shows off copied techniques of his own, such as the ones he copied from Goten and Trunks and Piccolo, as well as Moro. The fight rages on, Gotenks and 7-3 fighting skillfully, really showing how technique can factor into a fight, with Gotenks eventually landing a full power blast. 7-3 is sent flying back into a chunk of ice. 7-3 stands back up, weakened, crumbling from the ice, with Moro landing next to him, facing off against Gotenks. However, behind Moro is Sagambo, who rushes Gotenks instead. The two begin to fight, with Gotenks on the defensive, but Super Saiyan God Gohan interrupts the battle, fighting Sagambo himself. Gohan powers up now to Super Saiyan Blue, which actually impresses Moro. With that, Gohan, Gotenks and Piccolo now removes his cloak, fight Moro. Piccolo, who has magic, is able to negate Moro's energy consumption, so they are actually able to do quite well fighting. Dabura decides to wait before joining in the battle. Gohan lands some pretty good hits, with Gotenks using his techniques, and while Moro is impressed, it's ultimately not enough to defeat him and put him down. Dabura now rushes in, this being their third and most likely final fight. They begin to battle it out. Dabura and Moro have clearly gotten much stronger. Remember, Moro has been absorbing a bunch of planets, and Dabura hasn't been slacking off either, training with Piccolo in the Supreme Kai's world and doing training of his own back on Earth to get stronger. So they're not going to be the same as when they first fought on Namek. Dabura tried working on this pent-up trauma of Babidi and Majin Buu to, maybe get his mental state in a better place, but it's really no use. Dabura keeps fighting Moro, who actually gets bored of this. He mocks Dabura, stating he's had enough of fighting him. He hits the Demon King with a full power blast, and after a shock Dabura is sent crashing down, Moro just looks down at him pitifully. Just as Moro flies up, however, ready to destroy the planet, two people instant transmission in, Broly and Vegeta, both having trained on Yardrat. They now have both unlocked Force Spirit Vision with help from Paibara. And this goes like in the original. Vegeta powers up to Blue Evolution, while Broly powers up to Super Saiyan. And they beat the crap out of Moro even worse than the original, making him cough up every last bit of energy he stole. They beat Moro down badly, really not holding back. Moro is only able to escape by temporarily stunning them, then eating the weakened 7-3, leading to the appearance of Moro 7-3 absorbed. The ice cracks beneath him as he powers up. He rushes Broly, one-shotting him, stabbing him right in the stomach, similar to how he did that Namekian at the beginning of this arc. Then kicking Vegeta, following up with multiple attacks, even copying Vegeta's abilities. However, just then, Goku instant transmission in, sensing this, shocked, not realizing how strong Moro had gotten. Moro smiles, seeing him. Ah, Son Goku, I have been expecting you. Goku powers up to Ultra Instinct. Yes, just like in the original, he trained to master Ultra Instinct, something he has never achieved in this What If story. So Goku can now use Ultra Instinct Omen at will. Ultra Instinct Goku powers up, screaming, his shirt tearing, and he fights Moro, showing its defensive capabilities, but it's no use. Even learning to access Ultra Instinct at will is not enough to beat a 7-3 Moro absorbed. Goku, however, is still keeping up somewhat. That's when Vegeta, Gohan, Gotenks, and everyone else all rush at Moro, helping Ultra Instinct Goku. They all try and defeat the beast, but Moro laughs at this. Powering up, he explodes the ground around him. With this, Moro flies into the air over the cold Arctic and charges up a massive red energy blast, a huge ball of red energy, and he launches it at the Earth. Everyone all charges up their own blasts and fires it, pushing it back. This massive ball of energy causes the Arctic to explode. Just like in the Broly movie, it becomes a plain of fire, ash, rubble, with volcanic eruptions happening everywhere. The fighters continue to push back, ignoring this, but it's no use. That, however, is when Mirus arrives. Dabura, seeing Mirus, helps them push the blast back. He flies in, then trying to stab Moro with all his might. Moro teleports behind him, trying to grab his neck, but Dabura slices his hand off just in time. It's now Dabura and Mirus that team up on Moro. Yeah, Mirus breaks all the crystals he has. With this, however, Mirus fades away. As Mirus is an angel and has broken the rules, he has broken the galactic law, having used his angelic abilities, of course, to weaken Moro, just like in the original. An angry and weakened Moro is angry. Dabura is shocked by this, but he decides to just ignore it. He tries to fight the weakened Moro, who laughs. You have lost, Moro! Moro, however, takes the hand that Dabura cut off and places it on. He chuckles. You may not have noticed, Dabura, but I copied your abilities. Yes, I will now use the abilities of the demon god. With this, a crimson red aura corrupts itself around Moro. As he uses demon god Dabura's abilities, his body slowly bulks up as his energy explodes, reaching levels nobody can even comprehend. This is the power of the demon king. No, a demon god! He becomes more animalistic as his magic is heightened to its maximum. He lets out a primal roar. He becomes more demon-like as his ki and his appearance change, using the abilities of a demon. This has taken him to his final form. In the original, Moro, of course, took Mirus' abilities, but here, because Moro stopped it, it was his abilities which got copied, which means instead of Angel Moro, we are now getting this new and improved Demon Moro. Nobody stands a chance against him. He blasts Dabura, sending him flying crashing into the fiery ash, as he then easily defeats the remaining Z fighters, who are all already exhausted from pushing back that blast. Goku stands as fire crackles everywhere. From the new terrain, he sees Moro high up on a cliff. Goku looks around. He sees as Moro now crashes down, punching Gohan in the stomach. He then kicks Goten, sending him crashing down too. Piccolo tries his best, but he gets backhanded. Goku flies at Moro, trying to punch him, but yeah, it's no use. Goku stands weakly. He sees Gohan, Goten, his friends, all badly beaten. His energy starts to rise as he remembers Mirus. He's been killed. He can't even be brought back with the Dragon Balls. He's just gone. Goku begins to tremble as he sort of starts to re-enter Ultra Instinct. No, this is something else. This is your final push. Yes, Son Goku. I am Son Goku. He looks up at Moro and he yells, the demon eyes staring Goku down, sharpen as he grins a malicious grin. Moro screams, his demonic aura pulsing, the red aura showing how powerful he really is. Moro is with all these new demonic magical abilities, and he is now even stronger than before. He has now got the same power as the Demon King. Goku isn't backing down though, as he screams, powering up. The pain of losing Mirus and watching all his friends get hurt is what Goku needs to show off his new form, his strongest form, his true version of Ultra Instinct. Goku screams as his entire body becomes white. A volcano erupts behind him. He screams. Goku absolutely roars as a blue Ultra Instinct aura engulfs him. He won't let Mira's sacrifice go in vain. He won't let his friends be killed. He will save the Earth just as he's done so many times before. The Earth is his home. He reveals mastered Ultra Instinct. Goku screams as his hair takes a whitish color. He looks up at Moro, who is using Dabura's abilities, as he screams. Goku, now in Mastered Ultra Instinct, blasts into him. He unloads hundreds of punches as the two begin to fight. Shockwaves everywhere fly across the desolate battlefield. Moro begins to fire hundreds of demonic energy blasts, which Goku easily avoids, using the ability to dodge given to him by Ultra Instinct. He doesn't even think. He just flies through every blast, then being able to dodge every blast, he punches Moro as the two unload hundreds of punches and kicks. This is the greatest battle ever seen. Shockwaves are everywhere. Goku and Moro are clashing faster than the eyes can see. Their red and blue auras clash into each other as they unload hundreds and hundreds of attacks. As they fly punching each other from mountain to mountain, from volcano to volcano. Now, Beerus hasn't been all too relevant in this what if, just because he basically does everything he did in the original. So yeah, he does see that Goku has achieved the Mastered Ultra Instinct. Goku continues to fight Moro, Dabura absorb, and he really shows what he's made of, why he is the strongest of all the Z fighters. Everyone watches in awe of Goku's power. Moro continues to fire multiple demon beams, trying to blast Goku, trying to kill him, to which Goku fires multiple blasts of his own, avoiding the rest of the blasts he doesn't counter. The two seem pretty much evenly matched. They continue to fight. At one point, Goku does land a clean hit to Moro's stomach, which slightly weakens him, giving Goku the slight advantage. He lands a kick, now sending Moro flying back. The demon-like goat screams at Goku. The two fight on, attacking with all they have. The red aura fighting with the blue aura in a brilliant spectacle of a battle. These two are the strongest. Goku at one point takes a moment to go on the defensive, flying back. Moro takes this opportunity to really gun for Goku, chasing after him. Goku, however, had planned for this, and he's able to skillfully avoid all of Moro's attacks as he goes on the aggressive. This, however, was bait. As Moro goes in for a massive punch to kill Goku, he ducks under it, punching Moro in the stomach. With all his might, Moro coughs up blood, actually stumbling back from this. No, he says. No. I am Moro, the Supreme Being! His demonic aura begins to go out of control as he screams, I am the Supreme Planet Eater. I have now attained the abilities of the Demon God. I will not be defeated by a simple mortal. Goku punches him in the face, sending him flying back. Moro tries to regain himself. He charges up all his energy into a final demonic blast. As Goku charges up a Kamehameha, Goku fires his beam as both connect. Now both in a beam struggle. Moro with his crimson red demonic blast. Goku with his pure blue Kamehameha radiating heat. Goku, however, knows he has to kill Moro. There isn't another option. Goku feels his body giving up on him. As the beam struggle continues on, they seem to be evenly matched, but Goku hasn't given up just yet. He yells, giving a final push, the blue beam beginning to overtake the crimson one. Goku lets out a final roar as Moro yells, No! 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 Moro is engulfed in Goku's Kamehameha as he begins to be completely obliterated. He sees his body crumbling away with Moro being completely disintegrated. He screams as Moro's face is being distorted. The Kamehameha obliterates him completely. With this, Moro has been killed, leaving absolutely no trace of him. And with this, the Moro arc comes to a close. Everyone is healed as they see Goku sitting down, no longer being in the rocky, fiery ash of where they once were, with the beam struggle seeming to have created a clearing of a rocky canyon, just as where Gogeta defeated Broly in the movie. And they all celebrate. Everyone is happy to see Moro has been defeated. They celebrate with a barbecue over the defeat of Moro. They all do go and get awarded by the Galactic Patrol just as the original, and we do still find out Mira's is still alive. Now you would expect this what if to end here, as we've basically wrapped everything up in Super, but it doesn't feel like a real conclusion. I mean, yeah, it feels like a conclusion for the Z Fighters and Goku, but it still doesn't feel like a real conclusion for, I guess, Piccolo, Goten, Trunks, Dabura. This what if is what if Dabura turned good. There's a time skip, a very long one, which takes us to the end of Z. It's been so many years since the defeat of Moro, and since then, everyone has continued to train and get stronger in peacetime. They all decide to meet up for the World Martial Arts Tournament. reconnecting, and yeah, they recall finding a weird man named Granola, but it's all in the past now. And Dabura himself decides to enter. Everything goes pretty much the same as the original, as you know, it's been so many years. It's been 10 years since the defeat of Majin Buu. The only difference here is I think Goku would train Pan instead of Oob. So yeah, everything is going to go the same as the original. Goku does still learn to achieve Master Ultra Instinct at will. He can go into Master Ultra Instinct whenever he was. And yeah, in any case, the tournament happens. And honestly, there is no point in me covering this too much. So you can make up whatever matches you want in your head. But one of the matches we have is a very interesting one. It's Goten versus Trunks. Yeah, Goten and Trunks, both in Super Saiyan Rage, fight, and it ends in a draw. But the match after that is a very interesting one, as we see a cloaked individual who entered the tournament who faces off against Dabura. Who could this cloaked individual be? It's strange. They have no clue who this guy is. Dabura has been wary of him since the tournament began. This will be Dabura's final opponent. The final fight of this What If. As Dabura enters the ring, he starts to power up. This cloaked individual now slowly begins pulling off their cloak. They reveal themselves. This is where the story began. It's where Barbary, of course, began his rampage, where he first revealed himself with Spopovich and Yamu. Obviously, it doesn't happen in this What If, but this is where things really began, the beginning of the Buu saga, and this is where things will end, the World Martial Arts Tournament. As the person takes off their cloak, they are revealed to be none other than Jiren. This is an extra arc I've decided to add in, the Jiren Revenge arc. He looks at Dabura in pure rage. Finally, he says. Dabura is shocked. How did Jiren of Universe 11 come here? I have trained tirelessly for this day. Today I could take revenge against the demons who took away my master. So yeah, the end of Z has indirectly turned into the Jiren Revenge arc, which is our final arc. Yeah, so if you couldn't tell, this is the end of Z. I've decided to include this in this What If because I wanted to introduce a sort of mini final arc, the Jiren Revenge arc. Dabura is surprised, he's shocked. Jiren actually came here. He senses the intent to kill from Jiren, and Dabura realizes this will be the biggest fight of his life. Right as the match is about to begin, Dabura hears a voice. What is that voice? Barbary. He clutches his head, screaming in pain, taking a knee. These are the same things he saw during the Moro arc, the same visions. Jiren looks at him. Stand, he says. Dabura chuckles, however, ignoring that he suddenly saw Barbary in the center of the ring. He powers up, his ki exploding. He has a red aura around him. He sees Jiren also powering up. Everyone watching this is extremely worried. Goku considers intervening but decides not to. Jiren walks towards Dabura, creating cracks in the ring every step he takes. Dabura, I may finally have my revenge. Immediately, the two clash. Dabura's demonic red ki clashing with Jiren's flaming ki. Still in base, they both fight, Jiren not wanting to hurt any spectators. Dabura quickly realizes though that Jiren doesn't really care. Dabura is trying not to use too much power, but Jiren has other ideas. They fight as Jiren really goes in for the kill, every punch seeming like it's the last. Dabura, however, is able to barely avoid most of them, seeing how much hatred Jiren really has with him, wanting revenge for his master. Dabura and Jiren continue to fight, both still in base, pacing themselves, still firing a few blasts. Dabura realizes that at this rate the arena will be completely destroyed and innocent people could get hurt. He tries to explain this to Jiren, who kinda doesn't care. Dabura doesn't understand. Isn't Jiren a hero? Why doesn't he care about the spectators? Jiren's gut punches Dabura, who was distracted by the civilians, causing him to spit out blood. I don't want to hear anything about heroes from a villain. Dabura staggers backward, clearly hurt from the punch. Jiren fires a blast at Dabura, which he narrowly blocks, bouncing into the sky. Dabura stands up, telling Jiren this is no place for a fight to the death of revenge and hatred. Jiren rushes Dabura, telling him to shut up, who jumps out of the ring, now eliminating himself. Grabbing Jiren, Dabura teleports him to the demon realm. Dabura decided that if they were going to fight to the death, they would do it in his home. Welcome to my home. It's empty. All my people were killed here. We may now fight. In the desolate land, the purplish-pinkish sky overshades Jiren and Dabura. Dabura stares at Jiren as Jiren stares back. He says, it is better fitting that I kill you in your own home. Dabura looks at him. It seems I should get serious. Jiren looks back at him. It seems I shall get serious too. Dabura clenches both his fists. I am a demon god! He screams, powering up to his demon god form. Jiren scowls. Seeing those red eyes of Dabura reminds him of the villain who killed his master. Jiren decides to power himself up, breaking through his limits. His shirt tears as we see the flaming reddish aura around him. The two now begin their battle, a fury of slices. Yes, Dabura takes out his sword, punches and kicks, intensely cause shockwaves, causing rumbles throughout the demon realm. Yeah, the demon realm begins to shake from Dabura and Jiren's furious battle of slices, punches, kicks, everything. Dabura, however, can't take this uneasy feeling off as he fights with Jiren. He senses it, the revenge, the sadness within Jiren. It's just like him with Babidi. Dabura continues to fight with Jiren as the fight suddenly stops. I sense a great amount of grief within you, Jiren. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. Jiren screams at Dabura, staring at him. How dare you? What would you know about me? Dabura looks back at Jiren. I was once a pawn of someone. Just like you, they took everything from me. My entire life, used like a toy. I know how it feels to have everything constantly taken away from you. Jiren, you are not alone. I feel your pain. Jiren, however, grits his teeth, veins bulge from his head. You are a demon! You could never feel the things I have felt. As he screams, his aura explodes. Don't you dare compare yourself to me. I will kill you and have my revenge once and for all against the demonic race. As Jiren says this, Dabura powers down. Touching the M on his forehead, he suddenly screams, having the worst pain he's ever felt. The trauma of Babidi is here. Dabura looks around, seeing, where is he? He's in Babidi's ship. What? He was just in the demon realm fighting Jiren. What's going on? Come, Dabura, we must revive Majin Buu. Dabura stares down Babidi. What's the matter, my servant? You will obey my every command. Dabura looks at Babidi. He's back in the Buu saga. What's going on? Dabura feels so angry. What's he doing back here? No, he'll kill Babidi right here, right now. But then he calms down. He wants to kill Babidi. He wants to make him suffer. He wants to make him pay. He wants to reject him. But such negativity and hatred will only lead Dabura down more despair in his life. We must learn to accept and move on with ourselves, Dabura thinks to himself. He smiles at Babidi. This is a chapter of his life Dabura should have put behind him long before. He'd always had it clawing away at the back of his mind. He just learned how to hit it. But it seems that seeing Moro all these years ago had unlocked those memories. Dabura looks down at Babidi and smiles. No, he says. Babidi looks up at him and says, What do you mean, no? I am your master, he screams. Dabura looks at Babidi as the margin symbol fades from his head. No, you were never real to begin with. You died long ago after I killed you, and I was wrong to keep this margin symbol on my head. I was wrong to try and reject all this negativity, all this revenge and hatred. I can now see how it has affected Jiren. Such negativity, such things in our lives, they are absolutely meaningless. Babidi didn't know what to say. Dabura walks towards him. Evil, pain, sadness, such things will never make anyone happy. I am done with this revenge against you. I must save Jiren. He looks down at Babidi. What I needed from Babidi wasn't revenge. What I needed was to accept him. Babidi fades away, and just like that, with the margin symbol gone, it's as if the mental image, the mental scar he left on him, was never even there. It never even affected Dabura in the first place. He was nothing but an imagination of the mind. Dabura now goes into a new form, a controlled demon god state. He doesn't want to use his full power, as he wants to show and convince Jiren that moving on and acceptance is what he needs, not revenge. Dabura fights Jiren, trying to convince him to give up on this, but it's not working. Just because Dabura accepted himself and accepted that what he went through has happened and he needs to put it behind him, doesn't mean Jiren can too. They continue to fight, and Dabura knows what to do. He knows he can't give up. He knows that this fight will only lead to destruction. He feels the demon realm. It clearly is shaking from just their battle. Dabura decides he has no other choice. He headbutts Jiren, showing him a fragment of his memories. He shows Jiren the entire Buu saga. Jiren sees everything. He watches Dabura go from the evil villain to the good person helping them kill Kid Buu. Jiren now is conflicted. Having basically just watched all of Part 1 Redux, he doesn't know what to do. As Dabura shares his memories with him, he no longer knows what to think. Dabura does though. He tells Jiren the worst part of his life was Majin Buu. That creature is what caused him so much pain. Dabura clenches his fist. Jiren looks back at him. Shush! Why are you showing me such memories? Jiren goes in to try and punch Dabura, but Dabura easily avoids him. I will show you, Jiren, what true acceptance looks like. With that, pieces of Buu begin to exit his body. Remember in the Part 1 Redux, you should have watched that, when Dabura absorbed part of Buu? Yeah, it lived within him, and it corrupted his mind. Even when he sealed it away, Moro broke it free. While he may have accepted Babidi and his corruption, he never truly got over Majin Buu. He never accepted Buu. In a dark mind, like place, Dabura doesn't know where he is. He stares down Buu. Majin Buu, won't you help me just this once? Lend me your power. Just let us work together. So, as you would remember in the Part 1 Redux, Majin Buu, Kid Buu tried to absorb Dabura, but instead Dabura absorbed pieces of him. This meant that Kid Buu was kind of not able to properly be properly absorbed, so he just kind of started living within Dabura, if that makes sense. Dabura basically absorbed him, and Majin Buu has just been living within his mind. Won't you help me just this once? Lend me your power. Let us work together. Buu stares Dabura down. Kid Buu has a blank-like expression. He suddenly has a slight smirk. Kid Buu stretches out his hand. The two shake hands, and as their hands shake, a brilliant pink and demonic red light blasts from Dabura. Jiren covers his eyes as he's blinded by this power and light. This is when Dabura is formed. This is the strongest version of Dabura. He's perfectly absorbed and combined with Buu, while both are in control. Yes, Dabura has accepted Majin Buu and Babidi. He's accepted the trauma, he's accepted the pain, all those years of servitude, he's accepted all of it. Jiren is shocked. Dabura is working together with the person he wanted revenge against? No! No! Jiren screams, powering up to his maximum power. Even if you show me all of this. No! Jiren suddenly, he doesn't understand why, after all those years of training, he can't let this be how... He doesn't understand. He can't understand. From here, Dabura fights Jiren. It's an emotional, intense fight, and one that I don't want to go into too much detail into. I just want you to imagine Dabura perfectly fighting Jiren, perfectly in control, while Jiren is fighting like a wild animal. He's clutching, clawing, grabbing. He's trying to just destroy Dabura, while Dabura is simply fighting. He has accepted himself and is helping another man fight against his own demons. The fight ends with Buu entering Jiren's mind to show him what Dabura sees, and while Jiren isn't able to fully accept the same mentality of acceptance as Dabura, he isn't able to understand completely everything about Dabura and why a demon could possibly turn good. He gets close enough. As they continue to fight, Jiren goes in for a final punch, landing it against Dabura, and as Dabura exits his mind slightly, as a piece of Dabura exits Jiren's mind, he doesn't want to kill him anymore. Jiren realizes that all this revenge is pointless. He's wasting his time. As the power of Majin Buu begins to fade away from Dabura, he feels free. The Demon King walks towards Jiren, holding out his hand. Two people who wanted revenge so badly finally come to peace. They didn't really say much to each other, and while a part of Jiren did still want revenge, did want to kill Dabura. After having been shown all this, his memories, with Buu entering his mind, Dabura accepting himself in front of Jiren, a part of Jiren had come to peace with everything. He knew that killing Dabura would solve nothing. Jiren was a pride trooper. He would have to work on this in his own universe, in Universe 11. He would have to work on himself. As for Dabura, he would continue residing in the demon realm, which actually did revive all of the demons. Yeah, Dabura gets to revive all the demons which were killed, allowing Dabura to truly become the Demon King. Dabura would visit Earth every so often. Goten, Trunks, Gohan, Vegeta, Goku, Broly, Piccolo, and all the others would live the rest of their days in peace. Happy, still training often enough though. While Dabura would live happily for the rest of his time in the demon realm, ruling over all the demons. He went from being the servant of Babidi, with his only goal being the revival of Majin Buu and serving his master, to becoming a demon god and unlocking power no other demon would ever dream to achieve. He found people who truly cared about him, having his very own realm to live in. He was Dabura, king of the demons. He had helped Jiren come over his demons. He had helped fight against so many villains in the past. He had helped to defeat Majin Buu. He had become friends with the Namekian Piccolo. Everyone had accepted him, and Dabura was happy to have been the first demon who turned good. And that is where this What If comes to a close. Wow, this was an incredibly long part. I really wanted to cover everything that I wanted to do with the story. I wanted to really give Dabura a good character arc. I felt like I didn't really do that as well in the previous parts. So yeah, that's why this What If ended up being so long. If you did enjoy it, please make sure to smash the like button down below, as I would really appreciate it. Also make sure to subscribe with post notifications on. It really helps me out and lets me keep going with all this great content with you guys. So make sure you join my Discord server and go follow my Twitter. But with all that said, I will see you all in my next video. Laters!